Hey guys, thanks for coming back and watching the video. I got something really cool to show you today. Last week I put a video on YouTube showing the MavMount with my iPad mini and how easy it is. Put in the controller and begin to fly right out of the box. Just plug it in, hook it to the USB, and I'm gone. And had a pretty good review on it. A lot of people like these, and I think actually several people actually went to the site and purchased some of these, and well worth the money. Now I know that some of you don't like the setup because their concern was that you couldn't see the controller. I found that as I'm flying, I'm not really concerned with the controller as much as I am with the screen on the Mini. But from my perspective, not only can I see the iPad mini, but I can see the controller. So I'm trying to give you the best view I can from my perspective, but as I'm holding the controller right in front of me, I can see my thumbs, I can see the screen on the controller, and if I want I could always flip this over so this is not in the way, put it on the bottom, and I'm good to go. But I can see my screen very easy, turn that on, and I'm good to go. But let me show you something really cool. So a lot of you, instead of using an iPad mini or an iPad Air or some type of iPad with a mount, and MavMount also makes larger clamps, so if you have a larger iPad it'll accommodate that. I chose the mini because that's exactly what I'm using, and instead of putting the mini into the controller, it fits well. But the only thing I find that I don't like about using this setup is when I'm flying, I have to constantly tilt the iPad mini up so I can see where I'm flying. I want the antennas to actually be pointing towards my drone. So by using the mount, I'm able to keep the controller flat and I can adjust the angle of the screen. That's pretty cool. But let me show you something else. If you are using a phone. Now, most people are using iPhones, and one of the complaints that they have is, just like my phone, it's a Samsung, but it's a phone nonetheless, is I have a case on my phone. And every time I want to fly, if I'm using my phone, I'm going to have to take this case off because it doesn't fit into the sockets on the controller. And not only that, but some phones have the charging port offset to the side. So when they have the charging cord hooked up, there's no way that they can make a connection. So what do? Let me show you. I could, every time I fly, take the case off by ripping off the rubber and taking off the plastic housing and then slipping it in my controller, and when I'm done flying I take it out, put the case back on, voila, in my pocket. Or you can check this out. Jason from MavMount was gracious enough to send me a clamp for your phone. Now I think this is pretty cool because those who like to fly using their phone, if that's what you have, you put that in your controller, you take your phone, put it in the clamp with the case on, you put your USB cord in, and boom, there you go. You have a mount for your iPhone. And for those who are really concerned, you can see the controller because the iPhone's a lot smaller than the iPad mini. Big difference right there. That is a cool setup. I can't go on enough about the MavMount. You know, I've already talked about it in the last video. The build quality of this thing is bar none. You're not going to find another mount out on the market that has this type of quality. Not only that, but if I'm not flying, I can keep my phone in here as just a little holder, and I can sit down and watch a movie on this thing. I can watch YouTube videos. I can watch myself doing a review on this very thing. That's cool. So anyway, if you haven't already, you got to go over to to MavMount.com. Check out this thing. It's fully adjustable. He's got different clamps for your different devices. So if you're using an iPhone, Samsung, if you're using a iPad mini, if you're using an iPad Pro, iPad Air, heck, if you're using a big screen TV, I'm sure he's got a clamp for that. But you can't beat the durability. And look at that. Just too easy. That is really cool. So if you get a chance, check it out. I think you're gonna like it. What do you think? You think it's something you could use? I think I'm gonna have to buy me an iPhone now. That is way cool. Leave a comment down below. What do you think? You think this is something you could use? If not, tell me why. Check it out. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching the first video I did with the MavMount with the iPad mini. Appreciate all the comments, and you guys are awesome.